Hello, everybody. This is Jason Robinson from Illustration by Design. Hey, Marie, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Yeah, I am live streaming again. It's been about a week since the last time I live streamed. We closed the Indiegogo store for our Secret Comics Presents during my last live stream, and now we are in the final stages of getting this book ready to go to the printer. So that's what I'll be doing this week. Getting all the artwork finalized and then and done by Friday, because I need to send it to Nasser. He needs to give it a once over, get the whole book a going over, and then any changes he may have, I will be making next week, and then we will be sending this thing to the printer by the 31st of August, so that you have time to print it in September, and then Nasser will get the printed books in the middle to the end of September, and then you know, in the month of October we'll be fulfilling. So hopefully all of you, or most of you, unless you live out of the country, will be getting your books by Halloween. So that is the plan. We are on schedule, and yeah. So I'm just going to be spending the next 5 days getting all this stuff ready to all the art ready for completion. So that's what we're doing today. I'm continuing working on the grayscales for the book, and yeah, just trying to get all this stuff done. So anyway, hope you guys are doing well. Hope you guys have had a good week, since I haven't talked to most of you during that time. I'm doing well, and it's a little warm in here, so I'll probably have to turn on the air conditioner. But other than that, things are going very good. Hopefully you guys can hear me. There's only one person in the chat, so I'll assume that you can hear me. If you can hear me, type 1. But otherwise, I will just assume that you can hear me. But anyway, hi, my name is Jason Robinson, in case you don't already know. I am a graphic artist and illustrator, and I am currently working on a comic book, a horror comic book called Secret Comics Presents. And unfortunately, the campaign is finished. You can no longer buy it. But once the book fulfills, we'll probably have a few issues available for sale, but you'll have to wait until then. That's not going to be until October. So we'll give you a heads up, let you know if there are any books left over for sale, and if so, where you can buy them. But anyway, hope you guys are doing good, and I'll start drawing. few seconds. Let me turn the air conditioner on so I don't die of heat stroke, and then we'll get going. Okay? Oh, in the meantime, I'll put on some old-timey music for you, and hopefully you can hear it. I don't know. If it's too loud, let me know. Let's see. Grim Reese says, I hope that Robin Van Wingarden gives you a big thank you. She should, because I keep on, for some reason, it keeps on putting the wrong listing of my, yeah, it did it again. It put the wrong listing for my PayPal info, which I'm going to correct right now. Thank you very much, Bimbri. I appreciate it. I don't know why it continues to do this. It's a pain in the butt. Well, I have to admit you deserve expressions that really fit you, and so I rack my brain hoping to explain all the things that you did to me. Okay, let me save this. And if you refresh, it should work. Hey, Jeff Potts. Okay, air conditioner's on. I don't know why it's so warm though. But yeah, Grimry, thanks for letting me know. I gone back and corrected that for all my previous videos a couple of weeks ago, but it was like that for a long time. I don't know why. And I did. I probably lost like yeah. What's her name? Robin Van Wingarden should send me yeah, no, at least flowers or something for probably the $50 billion in tips that she got by accident because of my not checking. I'm gonna turn on this fan. Cools down a little. Yeah. Okay. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear? Okay, yes, you can. I just checked. You guys can hear me. Cool. All right, let me get going with this. All right, the live stream will be about 2 hours, so it'll be until about 12:30 Eastern Standard Time. You know, your mileage may vary, so. Let's see. So the Alabama Cricketers thought it would be appropriate to play Bugle or Rag. Okay, boys, let it roll. That's better. So you guys see Suicide Squad yet? I watched it. When did I see it? I think I saw it Friday and Saturday. I watched it with my wife. It was pretty good. I liked it. I mean, trying to think how I mean, comparing it to the first Suicide Squad. Did I like it better, the same, or worse? I like. Okay, I'll tell you what I didn't like about it. I didn't like Harley Quinn in it. And I hate how I don't even know if you call it overpowered because she doesn't have any powers, but how I guess invincible they make her in this movie. I think it's just stupid because she's just a normal person who's crazy, and but no one can stop her. They had like a whole army of guys shooting at her, and she's just like wading through them. I guess she's armed. I mean, she has a gun or a couple of guns, but she's just killing all of them. No problem, not a scratch on her throughout the whole movie. And I'm just like, this is stupid. This is stupid. You have guys with submachine guns shooting at her, an army full of them. They're all trying to kill her, stab her, punch her, kick her. Nothing happens to her. It's just dumb. It's so stupid. Um, and it didn't ruin the movie for me, but it made it a lot less interesting because I don't want to ruin it for anyone, but let's just say that there are almost everyone else on the Suicide Squad. There's a danger of them not making it out alive, except for Harley Quinn. Harley is they basically made her Wolverine in this movie. You know, where no matter what happens, that she's gonna come out okay because I guess it's in her contract. No one can kill me. No one can hurt me badly. It's just bad. um, Vimri says, I hate that Harley Quinn. um, P. says, hello, I've been hoping that I get to say hi, Jason, now that we're in the same time zone for the next 2 weeks. Why? Where are you? Where are you for the next 2 weeks? Where are you hiding out? But the good parts of Suicide Squad are definitely well, my favorite parts anyway was what was his name? Bloodsport, played by Idris Elba. Um, and I liked Ratcatcher, the girl who played Ratcatcher, and I even liked what's his face, John Cena in it. He was good in the film too. So overall, I mean, I thought was it better than the first one? I think it was. I think what I liked better in this movie was that it embraced the comic book origins of the movie. I thought of, oh, you're Niagara Falls. Oh, cool. That's great. Awesome. Which side? Our side or your side? Are you in New York or are you in Canada? But I thought it was cool. I hadn't seen sort of the transition stuff, comic book style transitions in a movie, probably since the first Hulk movie years ago. The one done by Ang Lee, and Suicide Squad has similar things. P. Mike says Canada, the prettier side. Yeah, right. Cool. That's great. Do you have family in the area, or are you just there just for fun? But no, I thought it was an entertaining movie. It was cool, and the sort of comic book feel of it made it more fun, and made it more enjoyable. So hmm. Yeah. So I'd recommend watching it. I mean, if you're into comic book stuff, which I'm assuming most of you are, yeah, you should watch it. It's an entertaining movie. Uh, let's see. Hold on one second. I haven't done this in a while, so I'm out of practice. There we go. It's been a while. P-Mike says kids are here to see Grandma and Grandpa. Cool. Very cool. Very cool. Let's see. What is the girl in the picture seeing that's making her scared? Is she watching Nasser's YouTube channel on in her bedroom TV? You'll have to find out when the book comes out. No, I'm kidding. No, you'll see as I work on the page. Actually, I'll just scroll down so you can take a look. Beep, beep, beep. There you go. Do you see that? You're looking through her eyes, or her eye. Well, you might said looking through her eyes. She needs to organize her room better. Have you ever seen a girl's bedroom? It can be kind of messy. Come on, what's going on here? Stop it. Ah, heck, nabbit. Also started watching. What did I start watching? I started watching the third season of Titans on HBO Max. Um, it's interesting. They're doing the whole Red Hood storyline. So so far it's not too bad. It's just I watched the show Titans, and I just find myself getting I mean, to be honest, it's better than the CW shows like The Flash and Losers of Tomorrow and Supergirl. Those shows are complete garbage. But Titans is has gotten better over the past 3 years, whereas the CW tends to get worse the longer it goes on. Um, but I'm still frustrated because I'll watch the show, and it's like things are in the show that are, I guess, small in the grand scheme of things, in the grand scheme of television comic book adaptations. I guess there's it's small things, but there's things that are so small that you could easily fix them, and they just don't do it. And to me, that's frustrating. I mean, I can understand if it's something big like, okay, you can't have Galactus, you know, in a live action, TV show because maybe it's too much, it's too big, for the budget. But they have Barbara Gordon, Batgirl, or in Titans, and it's but it's after she's been hurt by the Joker, so she's just playing Barbara Gordon now. She's commissioner for some odd reason. She's taking over for her dad, and she's somehow Commissioner Gordon now. But she's in a wheelchair, but she's in a wheelchair not because she's paralyzed, but because she's missing a leg. And I'm like, I'm watching it. I'm just like, she's missing. Why can't she just be paralyzed? And the reason why is because the actress they hired only has one leg. And I'm like, is that the only reason you hired her, because she has one leg? Why not just hire a regular actress and just put her in a wheelchair? It's to me it's frustrating. And then they show, in the show they show a picture of Commissioner Gordon, like a photograph of him. And he doesn't have a mustache. And again, to me, it's like it's small, but Commissioner Gordon has a mustache. So it's like, just paste a fake mustache on this actor, and he looks like the character. I mean, to me, it's like, it's like showing J. Jonah Jameson without a mustache. It's like the guy has a mustache. Just slap a mustache on him. It's very easy. Just do it. And they just don't do these simple things. But with that said, despite my comic nerd OCD, complaints, it's a decent show. It's gotten much better than the first season. First season was trash on Titans, complete garbage. But it's gotten progressively better. Starfire still doesn't look anything like the character, but they've gotten better in the sense that at least now they're having the actress wear green contact lenses half the time, so you can sort of imagine that she's alien instead of her looking like some 1970s street hooker. They've improved her wardrobe, which is good. But it's but overall the show is better. I mean, the acting's good. Um, you know, but no show's gonna be perfect, but it's okay. It's okay. P. says, but it's more woke to hire actual disabled people, didn't you know? Oh yeah, that's the only reason they hired her. It wasn't, it was because she was actually disabled. Um, but to me, that's not a good reason to hire someone for a role. You hire them because they're the best person for the role. Um, He says, my wife, Ruth, says she has a system for her piles of yarn in the bedroom, but she says I'm too primitive to figure it out, so she doesn't tell me. Well, that's probably true. My wife keeps all of her yarn in in a series of plastic bins. It's very organized. I mean, my wife is very organized with. She has a lot of stuff, but she's kind of a semi hoarder. But the good thing is that she's a very organized semi hoarder. So there's nothing on the floor. Everything is up on shelves or on the tops of dressers and stuff. It's all very neatly placed in identical plastic bins. But it's just like, there's only so much space, so I kind of have to, you know, rein her in a little. But yeah, thank goodness she's organized because she has so much yarn. Oh, so much. P. says I keep going back and forth whether to start watching Titans or not. I mean, I would say overall you're probably better off not watching it. It's very again, it's because it's on HBO Max. I mean, they have like it's, they fling around curse words like it's confetti, and I'm watching the show, and all of a sudden people start like throwing out f bombs and stuff. I'm like, what? Why do they even need to do that? There's no reason for it other than they want to because it's on HBO. It's just stupid. I mean, if they made a say a PG-13 version of it without all the cursing, I say watch it because it is good. I mean, this season, what I've seen so far, I've seen the first two episodes. Like I said, the first season was trash. It was garbage. Second season was better. But again, they started getting woke, and they turned what's his name from the comics, Jericho. The What's his face? Um, uh, Deathstroke's son, Jericho in the comics. They turn they it's so stupid. They hired a woman to play him, but it's a transgender woman. I mean, it's a woman who transitioned into a man to play Jericho. And I'm like, why did they do that? Why did they hire a woman who thinks she's a man to play a male character? And it just takes me right out of the show. But again, they hired her because she's um, she's the actress is a deaf mute, and so. But I'm like, couldn't you? There weren't any male deaf mutes to play Jericho. So you had to hire a woman who thinks she's a man and have her play a man when it's kind of obvious that it's really a girl. It's just bad. It's just bad. PY says, couldn't they just have the woman play Deathstroke's daughter? That's what I'm saying. It doesn't make any sense. It's just stupid. But again, it's for wokeness sake. It's just foolish. A lot of foolish decisions being made in Hollywood. So I mean, I can't. I mean, if you want, watch it. Would I recommend it? I would say um, it's outside of that. The second season is good, but I just find stuff like that annoying, so I can't really recommend it. Which sounds kind of bad, but outside of that wokeness, that stupidity they shoved into the show, it's a decent season. It's pretty good. Oh, that's too much. That's too much. Let's see. Need darker color. One more. Will that work? I think it will. Yeah, it works. too much. Try that. Yeah, that's good. Oh, P. says I gotta take a shower. I'll stop by again in a bit. Okay. I will probably be here unless your shower is 3 hours long. I will most likely be here. Don't slip. Why does it keep doing that? It's odd. Ah, dang it! I watched something else. I can't remember what it is. Suicide Squad, Titans, and there's something else that I saw. Make me strain my brain. I'm trying to remember what I did this weekend. I'm working on Nasser's book. What did I see? I saw. I remember talking to someone else about it. I think yesterday. Oh yeah, I saw What If. The Marvel TV show that started. I guess it started last week. It's an animated show. That basically an animated version of the old What If comic book of alternate universes from Marvel, and it was what if Sharon Carter got the super soldier serum instead of Steve Rogers. It was okay. When I first saw the trailers, I was like, this doesn't make any sense, and they were able to make it coherent. They filled in a lot of the sort of plot holes that sort of reared up in my head about the whole scenario. But what annoyed me watching it was, again, I guess wokeness in a sense, where it was, she takes a secret storm. It's the same situation as in the movie. Not Pete, but Steve gets selected to be the super soldier. He's about to walk into the chamber, and but he gets shot by the spy who had snuck into the demonstration. She gets shot, so they need someone else to take his place. For some reason, out of all the guys there, none of the other guys volunteered to get into the box to take the serum, and only Peggy was willing to do it. And time was running out. She jumps in the chamber, and they're like, "No, don't do it!" And then Howard Stark, hits the button. She gets injected and gets zapped, with the formula, and she comes out, superhuman. The thing is that when she comes out, she basically looks like a guy. She basically looks like a man with a woman's head. I'm like, she's standing like a man. Her stance is like a man. Her build is like a man's, and I'm just like, oh no, oh, and throughout the whole rest of the episode, everything about her is very masculine, except for her head. Her stance, the way she moves. It's all just like, what was that? What was that? That cartoon, Futurama, Death by Snoo Snoo. That's what it reminded me of, because cause she's still like Steve. She's still like Steve, even though he's scrawny and wimpy and stuff. And the whole time it's like, they're making eyes at each other, goo goo eyes. It's just like Death by Snoo Snoo. So The story itself was pretty good. Sorry, I'm talking way too much. Um, but yeah, it's just the character design for Peggy post post Super Soldier Serum. It was odd. It didn't have to be. That was a kind of annoying thing. It's like all you had to do is just make her look like Wonder Woman. And what didn't help was that when they gave her a costume, um, you know, Captain. For some reason, they called her Captain Carter instead of Captain America or Captain Britain. Even let's call her Captain Britain. She's British. Call her Captain Britain. Um, but they the costume they gave her was again just very masculine. It, before she took the serum, she and every other woman in the episode wore skirts. They wore dresses, and not dresses, but they wore skirts. And if you think back at of comic books at the time, everyone from Mary Marvel to Wonder Woman to whomever, all the female characters they all wore skirts or they wore like shorts, like bikini briefs or whatever. They, they had Sharon Carter just wearing like man's clothes. She's running around in like in pants or whatever. So again, she looked like a man with a woman's head, and it was like, didn't quite didn't quite gel. But the story overall was good. The animation I'm not a fan of. I don't really like computer cell animation like they started using in the DC um, animated films, and I guess now What If with the Marvel films. I'm not a fan of it at all. But because it's very herky jerky, it's very stiff to me, to my eyes, almost like stop motion. But a scale of 1 to 10, I'd probably give it a 7. Yeah. Rick says his Titan's good. First season stinks. Second season is pretty good. Third season is seems pretty good as well. So I would say start watching from the second season on. You can watch the first season, but I don't know, especially if you're a stickler for details. Maybe not even details, but if you like adaptations to be like the source material, don't watch the first season of Titans because it's pretty far off. Um, you know, like I said, first season stinks. Second season's better. Third season seems pretty good so far. So, Vic says, John Cena's gonna have his own Peacemaker TV show on HBO Max. Freaking awesome. Yeah. I mean, I'm not a big fan of John Cena, but you know, I guess it just depends on what they do with it. I don't know. Vic says, I never read any Titans. Okay, then watch the show. You might like it. Vic says, oh, come on, give Cena a break, man. I don't know what you want me to say. He's a wrestler. He can't really act. He's not a, you know, I mean, the Rock's a wrestler too. I don't think he can act either. I mean, that's why all the Rock shows, all the Rock's movies bomb at the box office, unless he's in like an ensemble piece. You can't name me one successful Rock movie out there that where Rock was was the main star and he wasn't part of an ensemble or buddy picture where someone else helps carry the weight because he can't carry a movie on his own. He needs someone else or a group of people there around him, famous people, to to get to get audiences in the theater to watch him. All the Rock's movies have basically been straight to video films. Um, who do you like more, Rick Flag or Peacemaker? On the show, on the movie? Um, well, they gave John Cena more to do. I mean, Rick Flag didn't really do anything in that movie. So I mean, Peacemaker was more, was more fun. But it doesn't mean I necessarily want to see a whole TV show about the guy. Um, I mean, like I said, I mean, it depends on what they do with it. I mean, it could be good. I don't know. Just have to wait and see. Huh. What's going on here? All right, there we go.
Fear is the response to loud noises or loss of support.
Um, Vic says The Rock isn't that good, but John Cena had it, man. He looked freaking awesome. Damn, I liked him. That dude using a sword. Ooh man, he's modern. Ha, he's modern day technology or Schwarzenegger. Oh, okay, yeah. Arnold Schwarzenegger's not a great actor either. That's what I'm saying. It's like these are guys who are like I don't. I mean, I don't expect great acting, but John Cena is good for what he does, which is playing, I guess, muscle bound guys who, hey, Lake out the moon, muscle bound guys who do stuff. I mean, he has a good sense of humor, which I think plays in his favor, which is good. But I don't. Again, I don't expect greatness from John Cena any more than I expect greatness from Arnold Schwarzenegger or greatness from The Rock. They're just they're meathead actors, if I can say that. Does that mean they're meathead actors? They're they're athletes, quasi athletes who entertain, based on their physique, So, eh, I don't really get that excited about them, but I'm sure it'll be entertaining. I like John Cena in Suicide Squad. I liked him in what was it, Fast and Furious, but you know, again, he's not. He's to my mind, he's not like a leading man. He's not someone who can headline a movie. Is Leonardo DiCaprio a good actor, or just the same as any other actor? He's himself. Well, yeah. Well, I don't really like Leonardo DiCaprio either because again, he's the same. To my mind, like you said, he's the same thing in everything he does, or almost most everything he does. I just find him kind of boring. Um, yeah, John Wayne's the same. Again, it just you have to take these actors for what they can offer. I don't expect John Wayne to do Shakespeare. I don't expect Leonardo DiCaprio to to really blow my mind in anything because I kind of know what he does. Um, so, give one example of a good actor. What's his name? Is a great actor, and he's different in every role he plays. Can't remember his name now, which is sad. He played Commissioner Gordon in the whatchamacallit in the Christian Bale movies. He starred in Dracula, Bram Stoker's Dracula. There's been tons of movies. Great actor. Um, Tom Cruise did do a good job as Lestat. I liked him in that, and I liked him in Interview with a Vampire because he played against type. He played a different type of character than he usually plays. So I thought he did a good job in that. Dash Hammer says Peacemaker will be about current events, guessing super woke like The Watchmen HBO show. Probably, yeah. And based on John Cena's sort of kowtowing to the Chinese and apologizing for some stupidness recently, yeah, I'm guessing that's probably going to be that as well, which will probably will not endear me to the show. Um, Vic says, I can't believe a guy who draws like you didn't appreciate John Cena as Peacemaker. He was fine as Peacemaker. He was fine as that character. But yeah, at least the character they showed on screen. But does that mean that that has nothing to do with my views on John Cena as an actor? I don't think he's a great actor. I think he's fine for playing sort of a meathead character like Peacemaker in Suicide Squad. Do I think he could play like? Do I think he could play someone more nuanced? I don't know. I've never seen him do that. I see him in a number of movies. He's kind of you know Wayne was quite good when he was older. Yeah, I mean and again I like John Wayne, but I don't expect more from these actors than I know they can deliver. So hey Marsupial Gamer, how you doing? Good seeing you. Marsupial Gamer says I just sent you a little present, Jason. Is it a comic book? Where is it? looking under my chair. um, but actually, hold on. Let's see. I lost the chat. What happened? Dash Hammer says just as good as any wrestler turned actor. I liked Roddy Piper and They Live. Yeah, Roddy Piper was great in They Live. Yeah, very cool. Oh, Marshall Gamer says it's coming in the mail. Oh, cool. Yay. I hope it's a comic book. I like comics. Vimry says, I hope he didn't send, yeah, says in the present to Robin Van Wingarden. Yeah, hopefully not. She's getting all my stuff. Who has better? Who was better? Mark. Oh, yeah, he was so good. Sylvester Stallone as King Shark. I had no idea who that was until the closing credits. I had no idea that was Sylvester Stallone, and when I saw it, I was like, I was cracking up because he did such a good job. He was here. It was as good a job as Vin Diesel did with Groot. Um, so no, I was very very impressed. Very very cool. Okay, got it. And when I found out who did the voice for King Shark, I was disappointed they didn't have more of him in it. That's another character I really liked in the movie. I liked King Shark. I thought he was a very cool character. Um, Shark, although Ruffalo is fine as Hulk, says Dash Hammer. Vic says I don't see that as Hulk. I see him as Mark Ruffalo. Lame. Well, that's because you can see his face. They don't show if they created King Shark and gave him Sylvester Stallone's face. I probably wouldn't be as big a fan as I am. It's the fact that you can't tell who's voicing him that makes him such a good character in the movie. Whereas Mark Ruffalo, especially once they turned him into I guess Professor Hulk, and they merged their personalities where he has the Hulk's body but Mark Ruffalo's head. That kind of takes away from the Hulk. I thought Mark Ruffalo was fine in the original Avengers movie, the first movie, because when he turned into the Hulk, you couldn't really tell immediately that it was Mark Ruffalo. It was in what was the last one? Endgame. It was in Endgame that Ruffalo as Hulk just became kind of stupid and ridiculous. So Dash Hammer says I probably like Ruffalo as Banner, not sure as Hulk. I think he's fine as the Hulk. But again, as long as I think it's the fact that his face is so they made his face so integral to the Hulk character and recognizable as Mark Ruffalo in the later movies that I think that hurts that version of the Hulk. Um, hey, Bullet Ninja, how you doing? Good seeing you. Yes, I'm still grinding it out. I need to get it done this week, so I should probably be working faster. I'm chatting too much. Chatting. Um, but why is this not zooming in? There we go. Vic says no, Eric Bana. That was the Hulk. Avengers, that ain't it. It's just some dude doesn't feel the same. Um, Eric Bana was fine as Banner, um, but his Hulk looked goofy. I mean, I thought that the best Hulk, dag nabbit, the best Hulk overall was the Hulk from the first Avengers movie. To me, that was the Hulk. Um, the Hulk in Ang Lee's movie, the Eric Bana movie, was too. The coloring on him was way too saturated. He was like a bright, like almost like fluorescent green, and it took me out of the movie in a sense. It made him look almost ridiculous. I mean, I liked the action in the movie. I mean, I liked the how they showed his powers, his strength, and everything. I loved that. I thought that was cool when he was fighting against the tanks, when he was running really fast because of his leg muscles. I thought that was spot on. I loved all that stuff. I wasn't crazy about how they made him grow the angrier he got. I thought that was kind of weird. And the general look of the Hulk's face was kind of almost goofy looking, but um, I thought it was okay. I thought it was fine. I did not like the although I liked what's his face as Bruce Banner. I can't remember his name now. The second actor who played him. I did not like the version of the Hulk they created because he ended up looking like a comic book drawing. They drew like every striation, every muscle striation in his body, and he ended up looking like a Dale Keown drawing. It was ridiculous, and he looked cartoon. He looked like a cartoon dropped into a live action movie, like something out of Mary Poppins or something. It was just to me, it was just bad design. Um, but then when the Avengers came around and they tried the Hulk a third time, I thought they got it just perfect. The coloring on the Hulk was perfect. It looked believable. It looked credible. He didn't grow when he got angrier. When he turned into the Hulk, even though they based his face on Ruffalo's face, it wasn't like a deep fake of Mark Ruffalo on a animated body. You know, he looked like a different character, which to my mind is what the Hulk should look like. I mean, he shouldn't look like a giant green banner. He should look like it should be like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde when he transforms. You can't tell it's him, even though it is him. You know, so but actually, what am I doing here? I know what I'm doing, but I'm trying to figure out. Let's see. Give me a second. It's very hard for me to talk and draw at the same time because my brain is very it's hard for me to multitask in that sense. And I want this to be lighter. Is that good? Let's try this. Try that. Try that. Let me try another one. Try that. Try that. That's good. That's good. Ah, damn it. Um, let me see. Give me a second. Um, let me reduce that. Is this going to mess anything up? I don't think so. That was Phil. There we go. Yay. Um. Oh, but up. Ed Norton. Thank you, Ed Norton. I couldn't remember his name. Um, Eric Ed Boy says, I still can't believe they turned him into Professor Hulk. Um, I I wouldn't mind them turning him into Professor Hulk as long as he looked like he did in the original Avengers. What I didn't like was him turning into Professor Hulk and then his head changes. his, his face changes into Bruce Banner's on the Hulk's body. I thought that was just stupid. It's just keep him looking like the Hulk. His face shouldn't change. He should still look like the Hulk. He just has Bruce Banner's brain inside of his skull. Um, Dash Hammer says having Banner, Norton, and Ruffalo as Hulk so close together doesn't help. Again, that doesn't bother me because they did the same thing with Batman. Every time Batman in the movies, he's a different actor. So I've kind of been, you know, conditioned to accept different actors in the same role. Yeah, at least for superheroes. So, or James Bond. It's the same thing. James Bond changes every 3 movies, the actor. So it doesn't. That didn't bother me. It's how they changed the character itself once they were in the role. Um, Eric Boy says, "Yeah, it's true. It's a shame Norton and Marvel had all those problems. What great casting as Banner in my opinion. Yeah, he was. He was great as Banner. Was he the best Banner? I think he probably was the best Banner. If they had Ed Norton and got him to play the Hulk in the Marvel films, I think that would have been awesome. And it's a shame it didn't work out. Derailing your work with chat. Yes, I am. I should I should stop doing that. But let's see. Give me a second. Face don't bother me. It's the way he acts. I guess Planet Hulk, they realized that the Hulk character wasn't quite right. They gave him too much of Ruffalo's character and trying to go back. I don't know what you mean because, and like, when you say Planet Hulk, I assume you mean Thor Ragnarok. In Thor Ragnarok, okay, say they gave him too much of Mark Ruffalo's character, they didn't go back. They went further, because in Endgame and what's the one before that? Infinity War and Endgame, he became even more like Ruffalo's character, to the point where he was Ruffalo's character by the last movie. So Vic says, "I love that look. You're opposite of me. We should be enemies." Eh, eh, eh. In that case, I'd be enemies with everyone because there's no one who agrees with me on comic books or anything. So everyone's my enemy. Um, Vic says Asian, like Bruce Lee. I don't know what that means. We should be Asian, like Bruce Lee. I don't know what that means. Eric and Boy says I hate the Abomination even more. He looked awful. Oh yeah, in the second Hulk movie, yeah, he didn't look great, but his name's the Abomination. He's supposed to look crappy, and and I did an ugly villain doesn't bother me as much as like an ugly main superhero character. Um, but if you looked at the if you look at the Abomination in Shang Chi, the Shang Chi, whatever Shang Chi, um, trailers, he looks like he does in the comic books. He looks really good. So I guess that they've improved on him on his design in the last 14 years. They've had to work on it. Dash Hammer says, I like Ang Lee. Puzzling choice as a Hulk showrunner. Also, Nick Nolte literally chewing the scenery and Gamma Dogs for some reason. Yeah, I yeah, yeah. I mean that movie had a lot of problems. I mean, there were a lot of things I liked about it. I really liked how they dealt. I liked how they merged. They sort of made it a spin-off of the TV series in a sense, where he gets the powers, his abilities the same way. But um, I don't. I'm not a fan of Nick Nolte playing his dad and then turning into the Absorbing Man. I thought that was just stupid. But whatever. I don't know. I've kind of given up on expecting these films to be super faithful to the source material. It's some of it, but some of it just doesn't make any sense. The Gamma Dogs actually didn't bother me that much. Vic says the Gamma Dogs were badass. um, Dash Hammer says, keep chatting. He's losing his place. I am. So it's working. Actually, this needs to be lighter. That's good. There we go. Look at that. Actually, that was wrong. That's bad. Bad Jason. Bad Jason. Deselect. I didn't have it on anti-alias, so it was stair stepping. There we go. That's better. It needs to be smooth, smooth like butter. Vic says, I don't like how them people were trying to ride on the outside of that plane that took people out of the embassy in Africa. That was horrible. Yeah, that. Should I get into politics? Uh, I'll try not to too much. Joe Biden screwed the whole thing up. I'll just say that. And a lot of people have died and are dying because of Biden's idiocy, including the people that unfortunately tried to hold on to the plane that was taking off from Kabul airport and then ended up falling to their deaths. You know, that's all on Joe Biden. Um, P Money says, "Oh, what are we drawing on these posters on this page? Do we get to vote?" Um, we kind of know what we're going to put on the posters. I'm going to leave them blank for now, and then when you get the comic books, you'll see what's on the posters. Okay, I'll put it that way. Dash Hammer says they didn't change the actor. They didn't change the actor every movie, like crept the Schumacher Batmans. Oh, except they didn't change the actor every movie except the Schumacher Batmans. Well, in the whatchamacallit, James Bond movies, they like every 3 movies they change James Bond. At least recently, you know, maybe more than 3, depends. Um, Man, Jiminy Cricket is my enemy. I know I fight with my conscience at times, but this is extreme. Yes, stop fighting your conscience. Give into it. Um, P. Mike says Joe Biden can't screw things up. He's already a corpse. Are Canadians allowed to have enemies? Ask Jeff Potts. Um, Jeff Potts says candidate with the most votes in the U.S. history, baby. Yeah, yeah. I, I completely believe that Joe Biden was more popular than Barack Obama and got way more votes than he did. I completely believe that happened. There was absolutely nothing questionable about that. um, Vic says some guys made it all the way here though on the wings of the plane. They couldn't. It's impossible because they would have died of of what was it? Is frost. What's it called? When you freeze to death. You can't ride in a plane that high. You freeze to death. They're dead. They may have made it here, but they were popsicles by the time they got here, and it's not even here yet. I mean, those planes took off and they landed somewhere in I don't know Europe somewhere. Yeah, Pops, haven't you seen our hockey games? We even better pulling the jersey over the head. Yeah, the Canadians can be mean. Just look at hockey, or maybe they take all their aggression out in hockey. Oh, Jeff Potts says, just remember, Jason, Bill Clinton was the first black president. Oh, and Obama was the last Kennedy brother. That explains everything. Yeah, it always annoyed me whenever someone would say Clinton was the first black president. My response has always been, why do they say he's the first black president? Because he cheated on his wife, multiple times, and because he played the sax, is that what makes him black? being being a pig and playing a horn, that makes him black. Okay, I got you. Um, Vic says my dad is Muslim. His housing, I don't know what that word is, called him from cousin, maybe his cousin. His cousin called him from El Paso, Texas. We're gonna go pick him up. He said he rode on the outside of the plane. That's not true. That's, I'm afraid your cousin is he's lying if he said that he rode on the outside of a plane from Afghanistan. He'd be dead. Um, with any plane, Jeff Potts. Jeff Potts said with those planes you die of asphyxiation, not just asphyxiation. You die of what is it called when you freeze to death? Hypothermia. Doy, my brain. Vic says Jeff Potts, according to Booster Kiwi, Obama was the last Kennedy. Yes, or some Irish clan they all descended from. Interesting. Vic, Vic rode the plane from Afghanistan to Texas. Who is he? Tom Cruise? Only Tom Cruise can do that. Everyone knows that. No other human being has the stamina to hang on to the outside of a plane for how long does it take to get from Afghanistan to Texas? 14 hours, 24 hours? That's a long flight. I don't recommend trying that, D-Money. If you're gonna try that out, make sure you have a good life insurance policy for Ruth and the kids. I mean, for yourself, by having Ruth and the kids as beneficiaries. If you're gonna try that. What happened? What happened? Something's going on here. Oh, there we go. Yay. Um, let's see. Jeff Pond says Matthews was stewed most of the time, which explains why he was actually kicking John McCain's loafers half the time. Who's Matthews? Oh, Chris Matthews. Okay, okay. Vic says, I think Oliver Stone did a documentary against the United States being stationed at different countries. I mean, what's the point? You can't do nothing because you gotta always watch your back. Well, I mean, that's sort of the point. But I mean, if the United States had not been stationed, you know, in say South Korea, East Germany, no, West Germany, and Japan all these years, we'd probably all be communist nations by now. I mean, the point of having the United States stationed in different regions wherever there's been conflict, and even after we won or was resolved, keeping our troops there was to make sure that things didn't fall back into chaos or our enemies didn't come back to regain power, whether it was the Nazis or the communists, North Korea, whoever. We're there to keep the peace. That's the whole point, and that's why what happened this past weekend in Afghanistan happened because we pulled up stakes without preparing for without preparing for uh, to have a force there to keep the peace. And with us gone, there's a power vacuum. And obviously the Taliban have been waiting all this time for a president to foolishly take everyone out without leaving anyone there to make sure they didn't come back into power. And Joe Biden obliged them like a fool. As in the famous words of Barack Obama, never underestimate Joe's abilities to F things up. So, which is an actual quote, except I left out the bad word. And what did Obama's defense secretary say? Like back in 2014, he said that Joe Biden has been wrong on every foreign policy matter over the past 4 decades. That's a long time, you know. If major Democrats like Barack Obama and Obama's defense secretary are saying this about Joe Biden years ago, there's probably a pretty good reason why, and I think this weekend proved why. Um, you know, even they thought that Joe Biden has terrible judgment when it comes to foreign policy. Um, Jeff Potts says, when both McCain and Romney were running against Obama, I really had to suppress a gag reflex no matter which way I voted, the Manchurian candidate or Reno commie light. Yeah, yeah. Ultimately, though, you have to choose the lesser of two evils because it basically comes down to that. You either have a really bad choice or just a bad choice. A bad choice or a much worse choice. You have to choose the lesser of those. Unfortunately, too many people pick the worst choice, and they did this time, definitely. Jeff Puss says, no, sorry, P Money says, don't talk to me about voting. I'm so mad. We got to have an election in a month here. Oh, okay. I don't know what the schedule is for Canadian voting. So, uh, Eric and Boy says, I vote to kick Nasser. Yes, we all vote that. We don't even need a vote at this time. At this point, kicking Nasser is a given. So it's sort of like saying, I vote to continue to breathe air. Well, yeah, of course. I mean, it's air. I vote to continue to have hot dogs during barbecues. Well, yeah, of course, it's barbecue. You gotta have hot dogs. It's like, of course you want to kick Nasser. I mean, it's Nasser. I mean, he has to be kicked. Vic says, let Russia handle that. Let Russia handle what? Um, Jeff Pye says, P Money, is it an election that will probably boot? Oh, Prime Minister Zoolander? Prime Minister, I never heard that. That's kind of funny. Um, oh, dang. Jeff Pye, did I see it say this already? Joe Biden and Al Gore are some of the dumbest people in government. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. P Money says, voting here is the prime minister saying, I want to have an election today, whether we need it or not. And no, I'm not exaggerating. Wow. Huh. Hmm. Let me see here. That looks spooky. Kind of, sort of spooky. See if I can make it spookier. 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 Um, Vic says, I think if Trump stopped eating Big Macs every night, he would lose weight and look like a saggy skeleton. And with all the things he says, would sound really deranged. Okay. Okay. Oh, wait, shoot, forgot. Dang it. Dang it. It's burning. Uh, forgot something. Need it darker. Hmm. 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 P Money says, okay, I'm off to bed. Good night, everyone. Okay, P Money, you take care. Have a good night. Vic says, usually if you don't have muscle and lose weight, you look terrible. People can't help that. Trump does look a lot better conditioned than Joe, and at close to the same age. Well, Joe he's, I think he's almost 10 years older than Trump. Trump isn't he like 70, 71? I don't know. I don't know how old Trump is. Biden's like 79. Trump. Now I gotta look it up. Oh, he's 75. Okay, he's 75 years old. And Joe Biden, I think, is 79. No, he's 78. He'll be 79 in a couple months. So, yeah, there's like 4 years difference between them. There's not that much. The thing with Joe Biden though is that the guy is senile. He's obviously going senile, and that, I mean, it's affecting his whole body. So he looks bad. Vic says, "I hope I look that good when I'm 78." Well, if they pump you full of enough drugs and cover you with makeup every time you go outside, you might look that good too. So I don't think Biden looks that great. I think I don't know. I hope I have Trump's energy by the time I'm his age. I mean, that guy is it's like a workhorse. Joe Biden isn't enthused. He did his job and beat Donald. The rest he don't care. He never cared. That's my point. It's like he didn't beat Trump. He sat in his basement for the entire election and had his paid lackeys or whoever in the Democrat Party do all the heavy lifting for him. He didn't do anything. It was the laziest campaign I've ever seen, where the candidate, the person running for the hardest job on the planet, did absolutely nothing to earn people's vote. I say that as a Democrat. I mean, it's like, the only reason people voted for Joe Biden was because he was not Donald Trump. They didn't vote for Joe Biden because of what Joe Biden had to offer. Everyone knows that Joe Biden has nothing to offer at this point in his life. He's basically, I don't want to say dead man walking, but he's basically it's weekend at Bernie's with Joe Biden. He's a placeholder to get Democrats back in the White House. And Eric M. Boyd says, "Nostra for president." Yeah, I don't know if I want that, but it'd be better than Joe Biden. Um, what I want, Vic says, and what I want you to understand is, a lot of people hate Donald, leftists and people like that. They went out in droves. Yeah, yeah. But I mean, it was like, to my mind, that's not a reason to vote someone into office because you hate the other person. Because you get situations like we have right now, where everything in the country is going to hell. you know, um, the borders a mess. It's I mean, COVID, because of the border, is a mess. Crime is an outrage in this country now. The police are quitting in droves. Foreign policy is a disaster under Joe Biden, and all this happens because people didn't vote with their brains; they voted with their hate, and that so we got the government we deserve because people voted not because they wanted the best for this country, but because they wanted the worst for Donald Trump. That's probably the worst reason to vote for someone. Um, Vic says also illegals, Mexicans were given dead American voter registrations to vote too. So, um, Well, that's always a factor. People voting who shouldn't be voting. Eric Boy says, yes, we currently live in challenging if not scary times. Yes, yes. Yes, very challenging times. Hopefully we can start to correct those challenges in 2022 if they don't throw us all in prison before then. We shall see. It's not bad. That's not bad. Not too bad. Gosh, I should probably do all. Well, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Let me try something. Oh, okay. Yay. Yay. Eric and Boy says, I pray we can overcome spiritually and more. Yes, I agree. Vic says, but how is that Biden's fault? How is what Biden's fault? What is it? Was it like some sort of prophecy that he would cause all these things? The only prophecy that Biden would cause a disaster, especially in the United States, was his 50 years in politics before being elected president. I mean, Joe Biden has been a political disaster his entire career for half a century. So anyone with eyes in their head and a functioning, no, I shouldn't say that. Well, actually, yeah. anyone with eyes in their head could see that Joe Biden, especially at this point in his life, was the worst choice to be president. So Biden is the Antichrist? No, he's not the Antichrist. He's just incompetent. Yeah, it doesn't make him evil. It just makes him it just makes him unfit, unfit for the job. Um, Vic says he looks like an old evil wizard type. I wouldn't trust him. No, I wouldn't trust him as president either. But that's what we got. So nothing we can do until the midterms of 2022, and then we can start taking away his ability to do terrible, stupid things like Afghanistan. And I feel bad because I shouldn't be talking about politics on an art channel because half the people watching or who will watch this are probably Biden supporters. So my apologies if I've offended any of you with my political talk. Let's see. Yeah. Fix this. Okay, change the subject. Let's see. Oh wow, time's gone by fast. Much faster than my work on this page. It's 12:04, so I only have about half an hour left. Dad burn it. Dad gum. Oh, I mean, I'm all the page done by that time, but I want to get a little more work done than I've managed to do. You don't see your eyes like that from the inside when you're looking. Yes, if you try really hard, you do. Vic says, "Oh, never mind." Yeah, you do. Hey, Yash, how you doing? Good seeing you. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're staying out of trouble. Catch anything this weekend? Fish wise? Oh wow, nice. Just caught 8 catfish in a row the other night. Wow, very cool. Very cool. Took 3 hours. Oh wow, that's pretty fast actually. I mean, if I caught 8 catfish in 3 hours, I'd be extremely happy. That, that. Oops. What? Oh, what happened? Okay. Oh wait. Deselect. Deselect. Get that. Get that. Get that. All right. Actually, I haven't been fishing since we went fishing in high school. So it's been quite a long time. Yeah, it was that was like 30 years ago. That's when you went fishing with me. Good times. Yeah, I other than getting up like 5 o'clock in the morning. No iPhone. Oh yeah, seriously. Ugh, I hate cell phones. Electronic leashes. Pain in my butt. Towed by horse and carriage. I want to get the. I want to get the the new the new Teslas, but I'm not a millionaire yet, so I can't afford it. Vic says one time me and a friend went to a park with a small pond. We got Coke cans and a fishing line to catch them with. We held on to the string and threw the Coke cans in the lake. Caught nothing. Yeah, I mean, how would you? I'm assuming you cut the tops off the Coke cans. Otherwise, how would the fish get in the can? Like Cameron. Like Cameron. What do you mean, Josh? Elaborate. Who's Cameron? Oh, sorry, I don't know the song. Vic says you're supposed to use the Coke cans as the reel and the string with a hook, like any other fishing line. We did the opposite. So you, huh? Interesting. Hmm. What does Duck to Naple do now? Asked Vic. Um, I don't know. I mean, I think he's working on a new book. He has one coming up, but I think he's writing it right now. I don't. I mean, I don't know what he's doing day to day. Probably counting his money. But I miss his. I miss his art channel. I wish he was still doing that. And so I love watching him draw. I love hearing him interact with the people he would have on his show and stuff. But you know, YouTube hates Doug Snaple because he does political stuff they don't like. So they keep canceling and removing his channel, unfortunately. Yash says, I remember going to the drive-in to watch the newest silent films. What drive-ins showed silent films? And newest silent films? I don't know of any silent films that have been made recently, Yash. So that's funny. Um, Vic says he loves. He says he loves drawing comics. Yeah, I mean, I could tell watching him. I mean, the guy's a great artist. I love, like I said, I love watching him create. It would be nice if he came up with another story and gave it to me to draw. Um, well, I'm not nearly as fast as Doug, so I think it's better for Doug to draw his own books. They will come out much faster for people than if I drew a book for Doug. So, I mean, right now, I mean, Elliot Fernandez is drawing Doom Kicker, so that's coming out. That was written by Doug, so that's coming out soon. Well, yeah, fairly soon. I mean, I'm not sure exactly, but I know Elliot's still working on it. Yash says, I'm glad social media fact checks everything for me because otherwise I'd be watching fake news. I prefer communist news. Yeah, exactly. Let them do the thinking for you, Yash. Don't you worry your pretty head about the facts. You just let social media giants like Facebook and Twitter and YouTube. You let them decide what's true or what's not true, and then censor everything else that they don't agree with. It saves you the trouble having to think for yourself. Vic says, you know how he did Doom Kicker with Elliot. Yes, he did. Yes, yeah, he did Doom Kicker with Elliot. Plus, you're not Doug Naple. He's got his style that made him famous. Uh huh. Yeah. What happened? Oh, there it is. Yay. I was like, I had that selected. Where'd it go? All right. Ah, sloppy. All right. Uh, uh, all right. Yeah. Yash says when businesses have to reduce how many hours they are open because they can't find employees because people don't want to work. They don't want to work because of the free government money. Yeah, but more states are getting rid of that. Are dumping the government supplement to unemployment because I mean it's obvious that that's keeping people from applying to work. You know. Okay. I think that's good for that page. What page is this? This is page 9, I think. Yeah, it is page 9. Work because of free government money. Is that the start of communism? Well, it's a good way for a socialist slash communist government to get people in line to kill ambition among the populace and get them dependent on the government if they're not already. So, yeah, free government money is a good way to do that. Okay, save. Now make some. Let me make this into some high res art. Actually, let me reduce that. Don't flatten. Hit that. Alright.
Go on now. Now he's doing this stuff. I can't be professor. You just watch me.
It says free money. You can call me Comrade Vitalik Alexander Gomez. Stymie baby.
What's that cha-cha I played cha-cha-cha? You sound like yes, it was. It sure was, but I never heard it played that way before. Well, it just needs to be done anyway. Now, wait a minute. Hold it. Lad, wait a minute. Wait just a minute. Show Johnny. We'll be first. What do you mean? John? No, John's right for in the wall. In the wall? Get it? Here it is.
Hmm. That is okay. Select. All right. Bop, 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 bop. What is a blue alert? Blue alert. What do you mean? I don't understand. Um, Vic says, "Oh damn, I wonder what happened." I'm not sure what you're talking about. You have to elaborate. Yash says the comic book looks so good now; it almost looks like it was computer drawn. I think you got that confused. Good comic book art looks like it was done by hand. Bad comic book art looks like it was computer drawn. It looks like a black and white Disney cartoon. Okay, cool. Oops, what happened? What happened? What did I mess up? All right, let me get that. There we go. Like that. Fill this in with black. There we go. That's better. That's not clean it all up. Not clean it all up. But it doesn't look as artificial as computer art. I hope not. It's drawn by hand, but it is obviously colored on the computer. So I gotta go through the whole thing, clean up all these little dirty bits, all these stray bits that are kind of stray pencil marks and stuff. Clean them all up. At least the obvious ones, the obvious parts that are kind of yeah.
One of the many things that give you that tip-top feeling is the pleasure of being well-dressed. The kind of music that hum or whistle make you on top of the world.
Um, Yash says, yeah, computer art may not have been a good comparison. I basically meant it looks super professional. I hope so. I do it for a living. I got you meaning. I know what you mean. I'm glad you like it, Yash. Hopefully, hopefully everybody else will too once they get it into their hands.
The kind of music that hum or whistle make you on top of the world.
Ah, egg nabbit. What the frickety frick? Oh, there we go. Hmm. Dang nabbit. Ah, there we go. That's good. Whee! Whee! Um, let's see. Yush says, did Yush Barbell ever show up in the background? You'll have to wait till you get the book to find out. um, for the last and final time, pay Jason, says Johnny Dingleberg. Yes. Well, I have to finish all the pages first before I get paid. So, Nasser has paid me a fair amount so far. I will get the remainder of the money once I deliver the final art. Let's see. When do y'all expect delivery to backers? Well, as I said earlier, it will be in October. So if you're in the United States and if you're in the United States, the book will be in your hands sometime in October. Before, well, by Halloween, you'll get it. But if you're outside the states, if you're like Peabody and live in Canada somewhere, or if you're in England, it might take longer. That depends on the postal service. But the books will be printed in September and then sent to Nasser to be mailed out to everybody, and that will happen in October. Hopefully before the end of September, Nasser will have them, and then he'll box them up and then he'll mail them off to everyone. And then he'll let me know which people ordered original art or comic book pages or whatever, and then I will mail off those packages to those people. So we are on schedule. I think that's it for this page. Pretty much. I don't think I have to do any line work or anything on it. So yeah, this page is done. Let me save it. Save. Hit OK. And flatten this image. Flatten image. OK. That work? Okay. Get rid of these extraneous channels. Save the final artwork as Finny. age 9 underscore Finn. So, okay, good. But anyway, that's it for now. It's been about 2 hours. I appreciate everybody watching. I'll be back tomorrow. I'm probably just going to do one live stream a day. For the next, until Friday when the book has to get to Nasser. So, just come back if you haven't already. Please subscribe to my channel. I do live streams and speed drawings and unboxing videos and stuff like that. So make sure to subscribe to the channel. Please make sure to hit the bell for notifications of future videos. Make sure the notification bell is set for all notifications so you get all notifications. And if you would, please give this live stream a thumbs up before you leave. I would greatly appreciate it. The YouTube algorithm would greatly appreciate it. And I appreciate everybody who has been supporting this book that I'm working on. It's been supporting the channel and everything. So, thanks a lot. I will see everybody tomorrow. Hope you guys have a great evening. And, stay out of trouble. Don't get arrested. Okay, well, you guys take care. I will talk to you later. Bye.